This episode is brought to you by KG Productions for KrsnaKnows.
Yeah, good evening. We had done till Sutra 52, so we will be continuing from Sutra 53 onwards. Just a recap of 51 and 52. The nature of devotion is indescribable and indefinable, like the taste enjoyed by the dumb. So these were the two sutras that we had done. So in this, what was mentioned was that there is no way of describing how this divine love is. And can a dumb person even say how this is? The description of most of the objects in this world, which are connected to, let us say, how sweet is something or how tasty it is. It is very difficult to say that. We can say only very good or very bad, that way. So that is what was discussed yesterday. So how this pure love exists in this world and what is the way of showing it? How does it come out? So we are doing now Sutra 53 from the Narada Bhakti Sutra. In some rare ones who are a fit recipient, this pure love is found to manifest. In some rare ones who are fit recipients, this pure love is found to manifest. So, is everybody having the same kind of reception the way the devotee is having? No. The love which is experienced by the devotee is very unique. And this love cannot be actually quantified, or how this qualification actually happens can never be said. But there are certain pointers which are left behind in our scriptures, so I am going to talk to you about them. First is multiple rebirths. In multiple rebirths, it so happens that a person takes birth over and over again. And when he takes birth, he may come in a womb which is basically a very good family, a very good place to start with. The parents, the grandparents, and everybody connected are spiritually perfect, in the sense they are devotees of God. And a child born in such a kind of a family has reached a level where just a little push is sufficient. Now in the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna has said this, that if you have become spiritually perfect and you are just short of it, the next birth that may happen to you may come in a very good family, which is a devotee, a family of devotees. There, even the parents or the grandparents or both the set of grandparents might be very, very close to God. The family could be rich also. They do not have any indulgences as such. So that is one way of understanding. So spiritual development is not a one-day process, it is a process over lifetimes. Now, spiritual perfection is one where a person is born realized, two, where he gets realization in this life. Now, when I say realized, we are talking about self-realization. Alright? But self-realization is not the ultimate goal. it is a penultimate goal. Penultimate means just before, one short. Why is it one short? Okay. So the penultimate goal is because the maximum that a person can reach is the first divine unmanifest and get dissolved in it and can just get out of the system. That means dissolution. He is no longer going to come back again. The other goal which we are actually discussing over here is the devotee's goal. The devotion to God, which is love and devotion to the Supreme Divine, which is from the second divine unmanifest. Right? So this is what we are discussing. So when a person is born, he may be Nitya Siddha, born realized. There are lots of souls which are born realized, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the born realized person. There could be avatars also, by the way. There are Purna avatars and there are some other avatars as well. Avatari Purush are like Sri Krishna, who had taken birth on earth, Sri Ram, and various other avatars which had come. There were 10 avatars. The 10th one is yet to come, by the way. And there were minor ones also. So while the avatar is there, or we call him an amsh of that divine, a small portion of it, there is a portion of the portion also present. So this is one more thing which you have to keep it at the side. Now we do not have to take them towards realization or to take them towards any goals. They just have to be born on this earth. They get a guru, their unveiling happens, and they have touched the goal. They don't have to go anywhere. When I say Nitya Siddha, these are not called Nitya Siddha, they are avatars. Nitya Siddhas are those who have been born realized. They are literally like in the Buddhism, they call them bodhisattvas. They are called bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas have touched the pole of realization, okay? But they have not crossed over to the other side saying that I want to become a Buddha. They don't want to become a Buddha. Simply for a very important reason, they come back to teach. So all the bodhisattvas who had gone, they'll come back and they'll teach. So they are Nitya Siddhas. Then we have the next category called Jivan Mukt. What is a Jivan Mukt? A person who has made efforts in this one lifetime and has got out of the system, which is realized. Now they are all qualified for devotion. Qualification is there. Please understand this. Now whether they want to take it or not is their criteria. Whether they want to take it, whether they don't want to take it, is left to them. Devotees, on the other hand, do not aspire for realization. They do not aspire for realization at all. They do not even care for it. But they are fit recipients. They are suitable for getting the devotion absolutely perfect in that particular life, in this life. How does that work? Now, as I said, you have come over a period of lifetimes. When you come over a period of lifetimes, in this life, you might have just about 5%, 10% left somewhere, Maybe that push is all that is required. You can reach your destination and the goal. There are various stories which have happened. Take the case of Kubja. I think many of us know the story of Kubja. Now Kubja had reached this particular state of devotional goal. So when she meets Krishna, Krishna promises her that right now you will reach that destination. Ajamila, one of the another great persons who did that. You may say they are not at all the right candidate, but we are nobody to judge, no? We cannot judge these people and say, oh, you are not suitable, you are not fit. Just because somebody is a prostitute or somebody is a IAST kind of a person, can we say that that person is not suitable? No. There are a couple of stories which you have to understand how this works. There was a person called Girish Ghosh. Now, Girish Ghosh was the owner of Star Theatre in Bengal, Calcutta. He was a very great soul as far as his life was concerned, material worldly life was concerned. Being an owner of a theatre, there were plays which used to happen, and for him to have that lifestyle where drinking and so many other vices were there. Now this person, he met Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Now he would come to meet Ramakrishna ji, and many a times Ramakrishna ji would deliberately start a war between Girish Ghosh and Narendra, who is Swami Vivekananda. Why this war used to happen? It is simply because Swami Vivekananda was still a believer of Vedantic truth. Vedantic truth is what? This world is an illusion, This whole world is an illusion. They believe in the being a person from the Brahmo Samaj. Naturally, his thought processing was different. He never believed in manifest divinity. He believed in the unmanifest. A God who doesn't have any body or something like that, He's a Brahma. And Girish Ghosh was a firm believer that Ramakrishna ji is an avatar of Kali. So naturally you can imagine the kind of fights these two used to have. Because he would stick to that ground that Swami Vivekananda, that no, he's a saint and God is different, and God doesn't take a form. Whereas Girish Ghosh used to fight with him. He is called a recipient. The devotion to Ramakrishna ji and Kali was so intense that naturally he was qualified. Then there was another person. His name was Surendra. Now earlier, when Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to stay in the temple, Dakshineshwar, his upkeep, whatever money, funds and all that were required for him staying over there were taken care by Rani Rashmani. Thereafter, by her son-in-law. And thereafter, the grandson, Trailokyanath. After them came Surendra. Now Surendra, what he would do was, he was a very rich gentleman, very rich. And he would come in his carriage and totally drunk. He would come inside, he would see everybody sitting over there in front of Ramakrishna ji. He would promptly go behind the bed, there was that cot which was there. He would go behind and he would fall asleep. And after everything was over, he would get up and he would say, Satsang is over? Okay, I am going. He would go. Now, he was such a great devotee of Ramakrishna ji. Imagine coming all the way from Calcutta to Dakshineshwar. In olden times, to come by carriage also, it's a long distance, okay? Even today, it is a little bit long distance. Coming just to sleep over there. So when people asked Ramakrishnaji, this fellow is not suitable, why are you taking him near you? So Ramakrishnaji used to get very angry. He used to say, don't talk like that. He is my dearest. He doesn't have to bother about reaching anywhere. See, I am there now. I will take care of him. And believe me, this is what he would do. So this is called here the recipient. How this person becomes a recipient can never be judged by anybody. We are nobody to judge anyone. Just because the person may be doing all kinds of wrong stuff or may not look like a possible recipient of that great path of devotion, you wouldn't even know. So every day when I select stories, like which one to tell you, so today I have to tell you something like that only. So, well, at the end, not now. So who is a recipient of this devotion? Nobody can say. And that is the reason why he says these are very, very rare ones. It is one lifetime that we have got right now. You are alive, okay? You are alive and you are kicking and scared, of course, scared of the coronavirus and all. I think most of the people are scared because what is going to happen? Some people who are with jobs are thinking my job will go. Some people are without jobs, they will think everybody is losing job. What am I to do? There is no money in the market. Everybody is crying. Third person who is there, a householder will think there are no groceries available. Everybody is afraid. I can't go out. I can't do this. The fear factor is there. But you have got this one life. Imagine this is the only life. Wouldn't you like to qualify for that? Think. You have had so many lifetimes prior to this. Nobody understands. Actually, hardly anybody is given the knowledge of what they are in their previous life. Okay? Nobody is ever told. This knowledge is not possible to be gained by anybody. Alright? Even if it is a realized being, why would he want to say about his physical, the sheets that he is carrying? Think about it. Why would anybody bother to say, this time I am a Kinley bottle, last time I was an Evian, and before that I was something else. Come on, I don't think you should tell this kind of a thing. Alright. Did you get it? What I am saying? This time I am a jam, last time I was a fruit. Why you want to know about that? It is not important to know. It is not even important what you are. The part called being the self has everything to do with the spirit soul. Nothing to do with bodies. So even if somebody is telling you, in my last life I was this or that, don't bother. But for the sake of becoming a devotee, the knowledge is important to know how many lifetimes you have had. These lifetimes are not worth it, I am telling you. Because in some you might have been, a horse. Who knows? Some you might have been some creature somewhere. Dinosaur also. And then, you got to act also in some film. Who knows? So the idea of trying to understand who you are is not worth it. But this life is so very important. Why is it important? You have got the chance to reach the ultimate destination, which is becoming the devotee of God. Why would you want to waste it? You can't say, I will do it tomorrow. Do you know whether you will be alive tomorrow? Yeah, you understand? That Corona fellow can swat you. Patak, you're gone. You are finished, sir. Don't even know whether you exist or not. But why would you want to do that? So this idea is like, I have to do it right here and now. And the method is to have pure love. So we are doing Sutra 54. This pure love is without attributes, without the poison of desires, every moment increasing, unbroken, subtlest, of the nature of sheer immediate experience. So he has given an understanding of what this devotion is all about. It is this pure love. Now here we are not making any distinction between pure love and single-pointed devotion. You understand this? We are not making a distinction. When it is absolutely pure love, you should know that it is single-pointed devotion also bundled in one. Bundled software. Together it comes. Buy one, get one free. So this pure love is without attributes. You cannot say that there are attributes to it. Why are there not attributes? You can be an ugliest person in the world also. Ugliest person, I am sure you know. Ashtavakra, Kubja. These are ugly people. Before, Now, afterwards it's a different story. Before Krishna and after that. After meeting him, what happens? So, all these people, they may have an ugly body, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter that the object of devotion is black in color. You see, all other gods are very fair looking, good looking, and all those handsome guys with all that. But here the Krishna that we are talking about is dark. Okay? And what are his attributes? You cannot say. When you say whether he has attributes or not, the question came up, how many attributes does Krishna have? Is there any attribute he doesn't have? He is this as well as that. He is the unmanifest also, the manifest also. If you say he is most beautiful, he is most ugly also. Because there is no definition for Krishna. How he looks like or what he is doing, there is no way of knowing. Whether he is small or whether he is big, that also nobody knows. Whether he has a beard or doesn't have a beard, do you know that also? I don't think I have ever seen a Krishna with beard or a moustache also. Have you seen anywhere in India? Nowhere. I should not use the word, but look at his waist. Look at the way he stands. So would you say he is a man or a woman? We have no idea. That is called no attributes. He is the only male, we say. Only male. Alright? Rest everybody is a female. So this thing which is called an attribute, in pure love, there is no attribute. Then the next one is without the poison of desires. Material worldly love is full of poison of desires. Why? You do this, I'll do that. I want it like this only. In Krishna's world, there is no desire. How do you get him? Don't bother about it. Do I have to bring him very good presents? Your wish. You don't want, I don't have money to buy present. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Should I go empty-handed to meet him? You are not going empty-handed. If you are going to meet him, you are going with your heart full. And he is not going to look at your hands, he is going to look at your heart. There is no requirement as such. So there are no desires per se. Absolutely no desires. So this love, this unconditional love is without any desire. Every moment increasing. Now, every moment increasing is only spiritual love. Please remember this. Material worldly love, every moment decreasing. Goes up and goes down also. Then, where does it stay? In the material world, there is no love which is going to remain, at this level and grow. No. It always goes down. There is always a peak and then there is a low, and then after the low it disappears. There is no love only. All love lost. Spiritual love is constantly increasing. Today morning I was giving a satsang where I said, how does this love increase? Initially the idea is, I want to see my love. Okay? Whom I am loving. Something like that. And a very tiny glimpse, is given to you. Why is this tiny glimpse given to you? The reason is because you have to fill the entire being of yours with that glimpse. Got it? I will give you the idea about how this is. Those who have been to Udupi or Vrindavan or if you have been to say Tirupati or Jagannath Puri, those who have been to these places, how much time is your darshan? Not even a microsecond. You see, you're standing there and you're pulled outside. Get out. Thrown out. You have got that microsecond to actually capture that image. You capture it and you put it inside of you. So divinity is exactly like this. The supreme love, the person who goes on the path of devotion may get a tiny glimpse of this divinity. Got it? Then what is the next thing that happens? The next thing that happens is you go apart. And when you go apart, long distance, then long distance relationship happens. Okay? He's not going to call you on your WhatsApp or FaceTime or anything like that. No. The divinity doesn't call you, doesn't do anything. You had that one glimpse, enough of it. Now, don't bother. You read any of the scriptures in the past, any scripture, you will find that Krishna has given just a small glimpse to that person. And most of the time he won't even say, I am that one. Look at all the stories that I have been telling you all this time. Where do you think Krishna has given a darshan? Okay, I'm going to be there for the next 24 hours, okay? Right? You want to record this conversation, you can please record it. There is no such thing. What word is given to you or anything that is spoken to you is you got to put it in your heart and remember it. So first it is just the glimpse. Then what happens? Separation. The reason for separation is the highest form of love is called Viraha Bhakti. Love by separation. And you may not understand this. The separation causes literally your heart to twist like this. You don't know what is happening to you. You are feeling so much of pain. It's a sweet pain. And imagine Today, if it is 10%, tomorrow it goes to 15%, then it is 20%, and then it is 30%. It keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And it may not even culminate in seeing the person again. Krishna. You may not even see him again. Even in case of the gurus, you will find that many a times you may get just one meeting or one glimpse of that guru. That's it. After that, you may not even get a chance to be near him. Hota hai. And that is what increases the love to a very, very great extent. Viraha Bhakti, a part of the Raganuga Bhakti, is an extremely rare pain of love which can never be expressed any which way. It is unbroken. It is not that I don't like him today. If he gives me something, then I will like him. It is not like that. Material worldly love is broken. You broke my heart. I'm sure you have heard this. You broke my heart. And then what happens? Okay, we'll put some band-aid on it. And after that, okay, now we'll get together once again. After that, the band-aid also goes and the heart also goes. In the material world, this happens. Then you are a heartless fool. You are really heartless. In spiritual love, that is not what happens. It is unbroken. The continuity is there. There is no blip in that. It doesn't say that, today I don't like you. That doesn't happen. It's a ad continuum. That means it is continuously happening. And this viraha and this bhakti is extremely painful. The idea of this pain can only be experienced by the Bhaktgan. The people, those who are called Bhakt. Don't misunderstand my word, okay? Otherwise, tomorrow you'll say Bhakt means something else. Okay, here we are talking about Bhakti of Krishna, not of some person. Okay, so the Bhakt is like that. He feels the pain. He feels that separation. He cries alone. Ramakrishna ji would sit in his, machhardani we call it, mosquito net. He would sit inside the mosquito net crying away to glory, completely lost in the Lord. That is what happens to a person. It is subtlest. The subtlety is so much that we cannot grasp it. You cannot write it down. There are so many sages who have written bhajans and kirtans and ovis and abhangs. So much they have written. But do you think they are happy with what they have done? The problem is they want to excel in the next one. The next one is still better. The next one is still better. But it is still not reaching the ultimate destination. You cannot achieve that ultimate. Try writing a love letter. I'm telling you this. Try writing a love letter to Krishna. Every year that letter will keep on getting longer and longer. You won't even know why you are doing it. Every word, you will have to stop at every word. You'll be crying away. And the next word you're crying away. The whole year may go just writing a few words and you'll still think, this is incomplete. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. There are beautiful stories like that. And they are very pure-hearted people in this world. Their love can never be understood. So one of them is Jayadeva. Now Jayadeva was writing his poem, that very beautiful poem called Geet Govind. Okay. Now Geet Govind, please don't read it alone, because you will think it is current poem or something like that, because it is very, very, X-rated. Now think about it. Are we talking of that? No, he's talking about love. Even Narsi Mehta, you see, 2 days ago I was talking about him. Go and read his poems. It's very difficult. Gujarati they are in. Okay. If you know Gujarati, then you will understand a little bit. English translation, don't bother. So he was writing, and one day he got stuck up over there. How do you allow Krishna to touch the feet of Radha was the big question mark in his life. Radha's feet cannot be touched by Krishna was the big dilemma. And this problem was experienced by him, so he got a little upset and he went to take a bath. Meanwhile, Krishna comes over there in his avatar and completes the poem and goes away. So you will find that in Geet Govind, so when Jayadeva comes and he sees, oh, somebody has completed it. When he asks his wife, she says, you only came and wrote it, no? She said, no, I didn't come. Then he knows, oh, Krishna must have come. So Krishna comes and completes that poem. And that is the way how things are. So it is a very, very subtle kind. Cannot be understood. We can try as many words to understand and express it, but nobody is able to. It's of the nature of sheer immediate experience. Now this is something which, how do you understand this? What is the meaning of the word sheer experience? I just now expressed to you. You are writing about his eyes, or maybe the way he is looking, or maybe the jewel, or maybe his kan kundal, that earring that he used to wear. And just think about it. I am writing about the earring. The moment you think earring, you are lost. You are lost in that world, and there is no way of trying to get you back again. It's not that you are thinking, is it a crocodile or an alligator or what? No, you are not thinking like this. Do you get the point? It's not a logical kind of a thinking there. You are just thinking how beautiful those earrings might look on him. And you are literally decorating him. That is the meaning of the word experiencing. Your hand will get raised like this. I'm not joking. This is what you do. Think. It is literally as if the Divine Lord is sitting in front of you and you are caressing his ear or something like that. This is the kind of experience that happens to a person, those who are true devotees of the Lord. They go to that extent. So we have touched verse 54. Now we are doing 55. Sutra 55. Having reached the supreme love that devotee sees, feels, comprehends, that alone, hears that alone, speaks of that alone, and thinks and contemplates on that alone. This is the meaning of the word single-pointed devotion. Have you all ever read a Sufi poem? A Sufi song? If you listen to the Sufi lyrics, you will think, oh, he's talking about some woman. No way. There is no woman in that. There is no man also in that. That poet is talking about God. Everything is talking about him only. It's literally like if he is saying, Think, he says, I am feeding you. Whom is he feeding? You may say he is feeding his son or his child. No, he is feeding the Lord. His single-pointed devotion is such that he is only feeding the Lord. If he is walking, he believes he is walking with the Lord. If he has anything to say, he is talking to him alone. Think. If you see somebody talking to themselves, you will say, Ata dilla hai thoda. Don't you think so? You immediately look at the person, oh, this fellow needs to go to a mental asylum, I think. No, in devotion you talk. And you talk like crazy. And you talk as if he is there in front of you. Krishna, this is what happened. I was doing this satsang today but where is he? Other people can't see him. I'm telling you this, nobody can see. The devotee is so intent on expressing himself that he is only speaking to Krishna and nobody else. Imagine, you have gone to give a speech at a very big function. There are some dead speakers here, so I'm just saying. So you are gone there. You understand, if you are talking to an ordinary people over there in the audience, you are going to try to say, okay, my dear friends, and then you may say something and something and something. But you are not connecting. Think, Krishna is there. And you are madly in love with Krishna. You understand what you are going to do? You are going to talk as if literally like making love. I'm not joking. This is what happens. You are literally making love. And this is the intensity of this divine love. And the single pointedness is so much. You may say, these are just words. How do I bring about it? I'm reading some people's thoughts, so I'm just saying. See? See, it is like this. If you are writing an essay and you think that you are writing for your teacher or for your class, it's going to be an average one. If you are writing for, say, Modi ji, you will say, oh, I got to write it well, If he has to read it, that means I got to write it well. Think. If you are going to write it for a person much senior, you are going to feel that intensity and that way you will write. But you are talking to the highest, ultimate destination. How are you going to write? Your essay will be the best. Literally as if, what? Krishna, something? I'm telling you, I have to be this person. Suppose you are doing your own analysis. Now today is a time to just, do what? You analyze. Just analyze this. So in that you say, what am I good at? Krishna, what do you think I am good at? You have given me this body. I am good at talking. I got to talk very nicely. And I am going to speak to you. These kind of words will come to you. If you are working for an organization and there is a boss whom you are so fed up with, your work is going to be mediocre or lesser than that. But if you are working for Krishna, now who has given you the job? Krishna. Who has given you the salary? Krishna. Who has put coronavirus in front of you? Krishna only. Who else is doing this? End of the day, he is responsible. No. So, let us give him all the credit in the world. Why is he doing all that? Because he wants me to be the best. You got it? So, I got to use my 100% capacity of the brain. Otherwise, I use only 5%. It's not important that the company is supposed to, they are least bothered about me. If they are least bothered, I am least bothered about them. But if I am doing the work for Krishna, then what? He is giving me this life. He has given me this family. He has given me this job. He has given me money and everything. I am listening to this satsang because of him. And I got to be good. Understood? So I have to prove it to him. Did I not do a verse just now where he says very clearly, you know what he said? In some rare ones who are fit recipients, this pure love is found to manifest. I want to be that one. I want to be the pure recipient of that love of Krishna. Why do I have to be some average person? Is Radha's position available? I'm going to apply for it. You see, this should be the competition. And I'm not joking. This competition has to be like that. I want to be the best. So I will prove to him that I am the best. Krishna has given me a job of a gardener. Okay, he's given me a job of a gardener. Can I not be the best gardener in the world? See, I come from his place, isn't it? So I got to be the best gardener. I am his devotee. My boss, only Krishna, he has to feel nice about me. He used to say, wow, you have done a great job. I don't know whether he's going to speak in English or what. But whatever he's going to do, he better say, you have done a great job. There is a very nice story which is written by, I just now said to you about Jaideva. Okay, so we'll talk about Jaideva. You see, those who have some girlfriends, think about it, what I am saying. Both of you all are drinking from maybe Coke bottle. Okay. The guy, you know what he will do? After drinking little of his, he will try to drink from her glass also. Why? Sir, this is how love is all about. You want a little bit extra from that place. Why? अरे बॉस, उसका है ना नैपकिन भी रहेगा ना, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, पेपर नैपकिन यूज करते हैं. Even in a restaurant, you will try to sneak it and put it in your pocket. I'm not joking. If you are mad in love, you do all kinds of things. Kabir Singh, कौन सा पिक्चर था? Kabir Singh, you have seen? कुछ भी करता है, पागल आदमी है. So it's like that. Imagine like that. You are crazy, mad fellow. You want to do all this. You see, I have a big problem here. People try to hack my things. It's a experience that is there. Earlier I would get a lot of slippers, chappals. I wear chappals inside this place also. So one day I will find it is gone. Somebody will say, Bhau, I have taken your chappal. I will come to know after 2 years that chappal has been whacked by this person. What are you doing with it? I am keeping it with me. And I am not joking. This is what love is all about. Why does it happen? The intensity of love can never be understood. This is what he says. The supreme love. The devotee sees, feels, comprehends. He feels every minute of the day. Even in sleep, he is only taking the name. Those who have seen Laila Majnu, Laila, 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 Laila karte rehta hai wo. Exactly like that. Here, you say Krishna, 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 Krishna. Okay, not in that. F like Krishna. No. Krishna, good way. Nothing bad. So saying the name of Krishna in a good way. Constantly, he's there on top of your mind. Your mind is completely engulfed by him. He alone hears that alone. Nobody can hear what he is saying. Only you can hear. Those who are devotees of Krishna, they talk to him. They hear what he says. How many of you have read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna? In that, he keeps on saying, yeah, ma, like this it is. And nobody can see Kalima over there, okay? But he is talking. Ramakrishna ji is talking to Kalima. That is the intensity. You see Krishna talks back at you. And when he talks back at you, you really wonder, pagal hai kya? That level you have to go to. Speaks of that alone. Every sentence is punctuated by that alone. Now, I don't want to introduce a subject which is not a part of this, but those who understand Kundalini Yoga, we have the 6 chakras which everybody knows about. So, I'm not going to talk about the bottom 3. I'm talking about the top 3. The one which is called the heart. Person is so full of love, cannot even imagine. He is literally like a softie. Those who have reached this throat, those people only talk of God 24/7. They have nothing else to do except talk. You will find that most of these spiritual teachers and masters, and what are they doing? Full day they are like satsang, wo chalu hi hai. I mean, the full day they are saying the same thing, and every sentence is punctuated by Lord. Mera Bhagwan ne aisa bola, kya bola, usne aisa bola. Like it goes on like this. And those who are here, in the eyes, they can't speak. Fully. They are completely shut up. So they can see God. See. That is the person I am talking about. He sees, he talks, and he is full of love. All the 3 chakras are active. Such kind of a person. And contemplates on him alone. So he is only contemplating on the divine Lord. Every sentence, every day, every minute, hour, seconds, you name it. So we have come to the end of Sutra 55. Next time we will do from 56 onwards. Okay. Story. The story of a devotee of Krishna. We are talking about Bhakti Marg, so we are going to discuss about Bhakti only. How would a prostitute express her love for Krishna? So there was a very beautiful lady. So she was born very close to Pandharpur only. Mangalveda is the name of the place. Her name was Kanopatra. Kanopatra. So Kanopatra was born to a woman who was already into that business. Alright? The mother's name was Shama. Now Shama would serve her customers by singing, dancing, what all these people do. So this girl who is born, she has to think backward and say, who could be the father? So, you don't understand, no? Who can be the father? So, she's raising her daughter. The girl, naturally, when you are in this kind of an atmosphere, what is it that you learn? Singing, dancing, all those kind of things. This girl is learning all that. When she comes of age, she is so beautiful. She is literally like from heaven, a fairy from heaven. Naturally, the mother says, there is a king. In his court, you can become a courtesan. Like go dance and all that kind of thing. The girl gets very angry. She says, why are you doing this to me? So the mother says, okay, so what do you want me to do? So she says, the mother says, okay, then I will have to get you married. Now, who will marry this kind of a person? You only think. Can anybody marry this kind of a person? This is again in the late 15th, 16th century only. This is not now, alright? So, the girl says, can you tell me the name of my father? So she says, there is a very rich man in the village and his name is Sadashiv Rao. I think he is your father. Now imagine this guy. Sadashiv Rao is a regular visitor to this place. And because he comes very regularly, now he is looking at that girl also. He doesn't believe he is the father. And the mother says, you go with him. She says, I refuse to do that. That man is saying, basically he's trying to sell her off to some rich guy. Okay, you have to understand that. So she says, no, I am not going there. And they have a servant. So she says to the servant, I just want to run away, So the servant says, yeah, we will do something like that. Meanwhile, the Varkaris are going towards Pandharpur. So one day this girl stops a Varkari and says, where are you all going? So he says, we are going to Pandharpur. We are going to visit Vithoba. So the Vithoba is who? Vithoba is Krishna. I know Krishna. So Vithoba is Krishna. Okay. But I come from such a poor class and basically nobody cares for us. What are we to do? So he says, why are you bothered? Krishna has taken even worse than you people near him. You just have to go and cry for him and he will become yours. Then he gives examples of Ajamila and all those, Don't worry about it. Go to him. So, along with the servant, Hausa, she runs away. And she comes to Pandharpur. So, when she comes to Pandharpur, she goes for the darshan. The moment she looks at the Lord, she is completely devastated in love, fallen in love. She doesn't know what hit her. She looks at Krishna and she says, you know what? I don't want to go anywhere after this. I want to stay here only. She doesn't tell anybody who she is. Okay? Every day, she would stay very close to that place. Every day, she would come and clean the entire sanctum sanctorum, the whole place, twice a day. And she would love to write Ovid's poems, Abhangs. You remember her father, villain? Okay? So her father comes to know that she's staying there. But he doesn't believe he is her father. Alright? So Sadashiv Malguzar is his name. So Sadashiv Rao, he says, I will have to kidnap her. But he doesn't have a reach over there. So he goes and tells the king of Bidar, there is a very beautiful girl over there in that temple. Why don't you kidnap her? Why don't you take her away and keep her in your harem? Now, the king of Bidar, when he comes for darshan, he looks at her and he says, oh my God, she's so like heavenly beauty. I got to have her. So one day he sends his entire, all his troops and says, they have to lock down the temple. There is a very big argument. Things go wrong. She catches hold of Krishna and she says, what is this you are doing, Krishna? I don't want to go. Why is this person after me? It is believed that the river Chandrabhaga literally rose and submerged the temple all the soldiers were killed. She died at the feet of the Lord in Pandharpur. There are only 30 poems of hers still remaining somewhere which we can read. Hers is the only samadhi which is there inside Pandharpur temple. Okay? So Kanopatra's name will become famous because she is the only saint whose samadhi, mandir, is inside that temple. Such was her intense love for Krishna. So we have come to the end of the session, and I will stop over here. You take care of yourself. You have a very good evening.